All right, we are now back, everybody. My name is Marcus Baylor, and man, that last game was pretty crazy. The rookies did a fantastic job in that last game, but we got to calm down a little bit. We're getting ready to start a real game with the big boys now. Here I am with Wiley. Oh, excuse me, Willie.
Really?
Walker.
Really?
What?
Really?
Hey,
Willie.
Hey, I'm a name botcher. Yeah.
How you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Oh, just fine. Just settling down here. I'm glad to have been invited here for the All-Star game, East versus West. This is a classic game, sixth one, I believe, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Seeing 12 of the top teams from each conference coming together for this one night to really give quite a show. I mean,
Exactly.
We're expecting like a lot of fun. I mean, coming up from the Western All-Star starters, Lance Wildfire, LV McDice, Eve Carbonu, Scooney Barrett, Jake Turner. All those players have done really, really well this year, coming up. And for the Eastern All-Star starters, we got Valencia Zeris, Terrence Tolliver, Renee Fiora, Roger Omechi, and, of course, Aisha Melbourne. I'm really excited about this, seeing a good showing of, all these amazing players.
And I mean, this is the opportunity. This is the one game of the year where everyone gets to just settle down, have a little bit of fun on the court. This is, I don't want to say they don't take it seriously, because of course they do. But this is an exhibition game. Players are here because the fans voted them in, and because of their high performance level of the past year. A lot of these guys are returning for either the second or third time they've been voted in, so they're used to the kind of the fanfare and stuff. But also some of these guys are here the first time. It's their second year in the league. They were either in the rookie game last year, but I like to see it mixed up a little bit with a few different players that were voted in this year. So it should be a good one, and we'll talk a little bit about each player as we go on here.
Yeah, of course. I mean, like some of the players that have been, having their first time. One that I'm, really excited about is Aditi Angun. I mean, with the fact that he had a pretty bad injury last year that prevented him from coming into the rookie challenge of last year. Probably would have had an amazing showing at that.
Right. So you unfortunately missed the All-Star rookie game last year because of that injury that was sustained. I think it was just like a week prior to the games. So he unfortunately could not sit in on that game, or for the most part was kind of incapacitated. But he's here, got voted again, and because Anna is had a good season. The Spectrums, along with the Hawaii Kahunas, they're represented by a slew of players between Scooney Barrett, and then we may see a little bit of Tate and Goldshine. They're kind of far back on the bench, but definitely Scooney Barrett is the one I'll be watching on the west side. For the east, I'm happy to see Renee Fiora get her first nod. She's been in the league for quite a few years now. The Malamute is probably the most excited on the court for the front five. And then, of course, Aisha Melbourne, the veteran of that lineup, getting the call. Three of the five starters on the East lineup getting their first nod in quite a few years. So that's very cool to see.
Oh, yeah. I mean, especially for Aisha Melbourne. I mean, I'm really happy for her getting that chance to start, to get a chance to have, I believe it's her first All-Star game as well, I think. Don't quote me on that. But with the fact that Aisha Melbourne truly showing, she quietly became the best center for the East. So it's really great to be appreciative to see her getting a chance to play up and have an amazing time.
Lorraine is they've got a few things together this year in comparison to last year. So, definitely happy for Melbourne. I'll be watching her as well as, of course, Umechi here on his fifth straight nomination, so we cannot forget him as well.
I mean, yeah, of course, you can't forget about Omechi. Honestly, I think it would have been a crime if he actually never made it into the All-Star game at all. I'm pretty sure the entire Albany crowd would riot and tear down the stadium right now if they found that out.
Sorry about that. Little kids trying to break into the calling room here, so I had to
it's okay, it's fine. But yeah, Rajo Mechi, it's no surprise that he's made it in for another year. Clearly one of the best players throughout the FBA. So it's no surprise to see him play to, have another chance, another outing. But again, lots of players here. Really, really excited to see what kind of show we're getting ready to see.
Yeah, so just before get started here, of course, go through the lineups for the East and West. As you said, Zaraus, Tolliver, Fiora, Umechi, and Melbourne starting for the East. On the West side, we have Wildfire, who, of course, playing for the Whips this year. McDias getting the nod from the Santa Ana Spectrums. Carbonneau, very underrated guy. Of course, went undrafted in 2011, but now he's all the way here at the starting line and the forward position. Scooney Barrett, what more can you say about him than, of course, Jake Turner, being in the rookie All-Star game last year and now gets the nod for consistently good play as the center on the starting five. Barnaby Jazz, again here. He'll appear again for the slam dunk contest that will be happening in the upcoming weeks. Aditya Angan, Lucas Hervin, Kevin Malka, and Dan Kuvianik rounding out the top 10, and then Tate and Goldshine for the West. On the East side, on the bench, we have Buckner from the Taproots. He's switched now from the West to the East this year. Verla Tierra getting a nod again this year, along with D'Angelo McQuilkin. Adam Tevola was on the rookie All-Star team, along with Hal Dufresne. They're both here tonight. And Raul Kadane and Crystal Davis rounding out those players. They were also in last year's All-Star game. So there's a lot of returning faces. There's some new ones, too. So we'll be focusing a little bit across the board tonight.
Of course. Well, I mean, I think we've said a little bit enough here. We're getting ready to get things started now.
Yeah, it looks like they're starting to get things going.
Yep, we're getting a pretty excited one going as we begin with the West taking it up as Wildfire brings it up the court.
The short Wildfire getting the tip. That's pretty impressive there.
Yeah, as we get to see Turner back it up a little bit, going for the jumper. No good, though, as Domechi picks it up.
Yeah, Domechi brings it up from the woods.
You get to see a nice way in, but no good there. See Burr getting the rebound, bringing it up to Wildfire.
Energy is really high. Just to start here. Really cool.
Right now it's a pretty defensive game as we start off. You see Wildfire passing it up to Turner. Turner going up for the lay-in, and it's good.
All right. Big Red Fox with the first points.
Yeah, as we're probably going to see a lot of points being scored from the Big Fox as Tolliver has the rock. Tolliver trying to get a drive by it, but nope, stolen by Barrett. That pass there.
I'm not surprised. Barrett's just been a dominating force for the Kahunas this season. It doesn't take much for him to just stick his arms out in the way as the West is there.
Yep. Now Wildfire makes the quick jump as well. Right now, a good early going, good start as Omechi gets the rock, passes over to Fiora. Fiora taking her time, letting the play ensue. She might be thinking of going for a drive. No, she passes over to Zaris. Zaris going over to Melbourne. Melbourne has to make a quick shot, going for the 15-footer, and it's good.
Very good shot there. Of course, they're looking up to Umechi and Zaraus a little bit on the east side, as they have the experience in this game before. But they are very good leaders, and of course, with Melbourne, that's the first points on the board for the East.
We can see another jammer from Jake Turner.
Showing off.
What an amazing dunk.
I'm surprised the backboard didn't break on that one.
What an amazing dunk from the Big Fox. That's how we get things going. Not shying away here in this All-Star game.
The crowd on their feet already.
Getting this jumper there from Easton player. As Omechi passes over to Turner. Turner having a pretty hardcore start right now.
Turner wants to make a statement here. I think he's been let down before in prior games.
Bad pass there from McDice. A 9-year veteran coming out of. As we get to see Zaris.
Dice's first All-Star game.
Yep. And we're going to see a huge dunk from Aisha Melbourne. Wasn't as powerful, though, but I'll give her that. I mean, this is an all-star game. This is where we have fun and we dunking all over the place.
Yeah, the big center is using their height to get some big points early here.
Yeah, it's Wildfire has the rock. Wildfire. Trying to make some quick moves here. Get up for the Team West. As Barrett goes for the jumper, but he gets fouled by Omechi. So he gets to go on the line for 2.
And that was their first foul of the game from the Husky. A little bit too hyper there, maybe. I mean, the energy is just so high. There's interesting starts to this game. Usually you see these guys kind of ease into it. But everyone here is just energetic and happy. And of course, we have the referee kind of explaining a couple rules here.
Yeah,
off to Barrett.
Yeah, we get to give Parrott for his first 2 free throws of the game. Setting this lead now to 3, 7-4 for the West. I mean, Scoons. Yeah, Scoons. I mean, having an amazing season. I mean, with the fact that he has a triple-double under his belt way early on in the season, he being a double-double monster for Hawaii. It's no surprise to see him being here as he makes a second.
And you know, Barrett's going to be in the slam dunk contest too. We'll see if he tries a few swift moves here to show us what he's got prior to that contest.
I wouldn't be surprised nonetheless as we get to see a pass to Omechi. Omechi going for his first jumper. No good, though.
Recovered by Barrett.
Yep.
And then brought up.
You know, we get to see the play ensuing. We get to see a pass to Barrett. Barrett going for the quick jumper. And he's good. So right now the West is taking the early lead, 10-4.
They have the experience of, again, Barrett and Turner from last year's games. And Carbonneau has also been elected in prior years, along with Wildfire. So, yes. You know, it's essentially 4 versus 1 people.
Yep,
one first in this game.
Yeah, we get to see a jumper from Zaris. Really quick for the quick 10-footer.
That would be Zaraus.
Oh, Zaraus. Excuse me. You know how much I botched. As we get to see McDice going along the arc, passing it to Wildfire, who is wide open for 3. There's no way he's going to miss that one.
From the woods, just barely.
Yeah, but we get to see a 13-6, the West team getting a little commanding lead as Omechi goes for a fadeaway jumper, but no good. And now we get to see Eve bringing it up, passing over to Wildfire.
Talk a little bit about Scooning Barrett getting more and more attention as the years is going on. Of course, this year really helping the Kahunas. For one of the first years I've ever seen them have a very, they're just dominating in the West, along with the Spectrums, of course. Those are the 2 teams I've been watching closely this season because I feel like it's going to be down to a handful of those teams. They have a pretty dominating lead.
Yep. Theora misses the 3 on the last possession, so now we had to see the West trying to go in as the Fox misses the quick step.
Yeah, recovered by Zaraus. They're giving Fiora a couple shots here to show her stuff.
Talivar, who has also gotten to his name with the 40 points. And we get to see Zaris going over the jumper. Nope, going for Talivar for a 3. No good, though. Turner with the board as he gives it over to Wildfire.
Tolliver, the leading pronghorn on the Pittsburgh Keatstones, they have a good shot this year, too, of going far in the finals.
A huge block there from Aisha as Barrett got the ball back, passing it over to Omechi. Omechi trying to get some kind of drive going, trying to go for a nice, quick 2-step layup, but no good. Omechi not having a great start in front of the home crowd in Albany.
Well, it's just like the Husky to kind of get a little bit excited with any attempt at any game. This is the all-star game. He may be trying a few new things. He should be getting more of those shots.
Whoa! Huge block there. I mean, Aisha racking up the blocks, it seems like.
Melbourne she may be trying to get a few points across.
And we finally get to see a shot made for the East for Omechi, but that cuts the deficit down to 5. 13-8, the West. But yeah, bringing it back up for Aisha Melbourne with the fact that I'm pretty sure that she's just as excited as everybody else. Probably the most excited one here, considering of her very long career.
Yeah, she's in her 12th season, and I'm not quite sure. I, as an analyst, have not been around for all those 12 years, so I don't know if she's ever got the nomination. We'll get the facts checked in a little while, but this is her first time, I know for sure, in a long time, getting the start as center, and she's got a few points to prove. You'll see her trade in some time with the second-year Hal Dufresne from the Moonshiners as well at that position. So between the two of them, they've got some points to prove. And, of course, we're seeing a little bit of statistical things from Jake Turner, who's been doing awesomely for the Seattle Summit.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's no surprise, being the fact that he is one of the main scorers for Seattle. It would be a little bit of a shock if he didn't make it in, but of course we're here seeing him now as McDyess brings it up. McDyess took a little bit of time trying to let things plan out. The guy's taking a sweet time. He passes it over to Carbonu. Eve.
Yeah. The West's got a little bit of leeway here. 5-point lead.
Yeah, Wildfire taking his time. That's to make a shot though. Going for the 3-pointer. No good. Dufresne with the rebound. So get up Dufresne. And the West hasn't been scoring all that much ever since that hot start. It's been 3 minutes. As Omechi getting into the paint, trying to lay it up, but no good. But the key is go to the line for 2.
Fell awkwardly on his tailbone there a little bit.
Yeah.
Right before.
You don't want to get a little too roughed up here. I mean, this is an exhibition.
Well, right before that, Tolliver nearly slipping out of bounds, getting pushed on the sidelines. His hoofs almost slipped out there, and that would have been a foul from the East, or excuse me, from the West.
As we get to see Omechi get ready to go for his first shot. And he misses the first one. Little surprise there. So a little bit of a shaky start for him, but, you know, as stated, he's not taking it as seriously.
A little bit of a change up there, yeah.
I mean, with the fact that Omechi is still clearly the best player in Albany right now, I mean, he's really been desperately trying to get that ring for the longest, and right now they're doing pretty fine, being the third best team in the Eastern Conference as he makes his second one.
Yeah, Albany went on a limb, as we know, and drafted Kelvin Haley, who we saw in the last game, as the number 1 player in the draft this past year. And And Albany, they wanted to send a statement. Of course, they're the ones hosting this game this week. They wanted to send a statement that they really want that ring. They want that championship, and they're willing to do whatever it takes. And Omechi is kind of the, I guess, the leading representer of that fact. We'll see if it happens this year. It's very possible. Ooh. Nice dunk there from Dufresne.
Yeah, Dufresne with the huge jam. And, you know, we got a blog and somebody just tried to bring it up, but Dufresne cleaning it up nicely as Hervonen, one of the best players for the Totems in their unfortunate year this year. But we get to see a nice pass going over to Kuvanik, going over to Goldshine. Goldshine trying to make some kind of moves, go for a quick 2. Ugh. Bounces outside of the rim as Dufresne gets the rock. McQuilkin bringing it up. Crystal
Davis, of course.
Yes, passing over to McQuilkin. McQuilkin trying to make some moves here. Trying to get something done. Pounding his way into the paint. Pass over to Dufresne. Going over to Tierra. Passing over to McQuilkin for a long 2, but no good. Danny Boy with the getting the rebound. The big bear.
Happy to see McQuilkin out there. Of course, Huntsville having a rough year with a lot of injuries. Luckily, he has managed to evade some of that in recent weeks and was healthy enough to play tonight.
Yeah, as we get to see a nice turnover there as Davis going up and laying it in with ease.
Just like her father.
Yeah. I mean, she's making quite a bit of noise here, being a starter for the Williamsburg Minutemen.
Yeah, the Minutemen have 3 players here tonight.
Yeah, and we're going to see a nice steal from, again, Davis. Davis making a little bit of noise here as Tierra passes over to Dufresne. Back over to Davis. Davis for 3.
From the hood.
It's in!
Yeah.
Davis.
That's what I like to see. And now it's tied, right?
Yeah, it's tied 16 all. Davis showing a little bit of... We want to be going back in time a little bit here. As Tierra gets her first personal. As Adi gets to go to the line for 2.
And of course, we know that I think this will be Adi's first shot at points in this game thus far.
Yeah, coming off the bench, and he's done a fantastic job here in Santa Ana. He could be a good candidate for 6th for the year as well with the game that he's having, and also did pretty darn well as a starter. As the season comes on, they swap up with Adi and Victor Vos.
Yep, we saw Vos last year in this All-Star game. They gave Adi the nod along with McDias. So we're seeing a couple new guys from the Spectrums kind of represent the West here, which I think is a really cool thing.
Yeah, as we get to see Adi racking up the lead a little bit as he makes the first one.
And they bring in, I believe, Adam Tevela.
Yeah,
into the lineup.
Adam Tevela, second year playing for Queens, is having another fantastic year. Probably a little bit happier with how this season is going. Outside of last year, they just missed the cut as Adi makes the second one. So the West is up 18-16 right now. Tierra bringing it up the rock. Passes over to Kadane. Kadane, third year, former Taproots.
Yeah, playing for the Tides these days.
Yeah, that's Kadane going for the lay-in, and just missed it. But Danny Boy gets his first personal as Kadane gets to go for 2. Possibly tying this game up. I mean, with the big decision that Kadane has made and moving on from the Roots to the Tides, so far it's been a good decision-ish.
Yeah, I mean, both units, of course, struggling for various reasons. But Kadane is one of those, predator-type mentality players who's going to look for the money. He's going to look for where he can be kind of the focus of a franchise. And the Bangor Tides have tried a various amount of things in the last few years to try and find a focus, a player to build their team around. Kadane could very well be that player. We'll just have to see if they can get things going a little bit better as he ties it up with that free throw shot.
Yep, it's 18 apiece now. We get to see Hervonen trying to go up, but it's blocked. Actually blocked by Crystal Davis. As Crystal Davis goes back up and she lays it. Another huge block. Very defensive. It's not like All-Star games to have a very defensive mindset.
It was almost like cheating. Lettiera and Davis working together. Of course, they're their own teammates bringing that ball up, but they got blocked at the end there, and of the West bringing it back up slowly.
Yep. As Jazz is in the game right now, passes over to Hervonen, who voted for a long 2, no good. But Danny Boy gets the rebound and goes trying to go for a 3, no good though. Kadane with the board this time. That's a matchup to be looking for. Kadane and Danny, both centers. Pretty big. It's Kadane going for a lay-in. No good, but Kadane gets the board back, and he gives East the lead, 20-18.
Well, I mean, Danny is just like, he's like this big white bear. I've never seen anything like that before.
I mean, he's basically 3 of me, so.
Oh.
Kadane with a huge block.
Yeah. Okay.
As we get to see McQuilkin.
I was reading you just now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and Tevela gets fouled by Danny.
And the crowd shows their displeasure on that one.
Yeah, they're not really liking that one. As we get to see.
It might have been picking a little bit on the second-year player here.
Yeah, I mean you could say that, but Tevela gets a chance to get on the rock because again, this is in Albany, and Adam Tevela is a part of is a part of the Queen, one of the biggest rivals. So it's not a surprise that they booed a little bit there.
The Queen's pride of New York City.
Yeah, I mean, with the just recently moved right next door to Albany, and you can see a little bit of friendly hatred as you get to see Tabella going for 2. Going up for the first one. And makes it.
Yeah, he's a little bit happy just to get a point on the board there, and they switched a little bit on the east side.
We get to see Buckner and Tate coming in. So another... of course, we already know about Buckner and his switch to the Taproots.
Yeah, so he started, obviously, for the West All-Stars last year, now playing for the East, along with Zach Tate, who also made a team switch from the Alaska Arctics to the Hawaii Kahunas over the offseason.
Yeah, we got a lot of changes for these teams as we get to see Adi passing up to Goldshine. Goldshine passing it over to Hervonen. Hervonen for 3, and it is in. Nice smash there by Hervonen.
Edmonton can get it done if Hervonen plays like that.
Yeah, but we get to see some nice moves there. Get a little bit of size up.
It was like
going up for the lay-in.
Yeah.
Oh, no good there. As Adi with a surprise rebound. Bringing it up. Probably we get the last shot of Hervonen. Might get the last shot here. Hervonen.
5 seconds
left. Over to Adi. Adi's got 3 seconds left on the shot clock. He goes for the long jumper, and it is in.
He had me doubted.
Lucky bounce for the Civet as the West takes the lead 23-22.
That shot by Angun actually gave the West back the lead with the first point of this quarter. So, West 23, East 22.
Yeah,
very exciting game thus far.
Yeah, very exciting as we get to see both coaches talk a little bit.
Go back and I'm able to read
it's been a pretty fun game so far as we get to see all these stars doing pretty much amazing, see the enjoyment in them.
And they're giving everyone a little bit of play time too, which is of course always appreciated. So here we start the second quarter right away.
Yep, as Zeres goes over to Buckner to Fiora back over to Buckner going over to Zeres. Taking her time. Valencia going for the... Oh, she tried to dunk, but she done forwarded it as Jazz plays it in.
Easy points for Jazz. Caught the whole West... I mean, the East, I think we're just watching along with Zerouse there trying to get that dunk in, but she completely flubbed it. And it was easy points for West. They just threw it over to Jazz, and he dunked it in or laid it back up. Yeah.
As Fiora going over for a long 15-footer, and she makes it in.
There we go. Malamud's a little bit happy about that.
Yeah, we're going to see Eve bringing it up. Eve passing over to McDice. Who passing it over to Wildfire. Wildfire going over to Carbonu.
The Arctic Fox from the Winnipeg Voyagers. You've Carbonu, excuse me.
Yeah, the fellow Canadian doing
starting
pretty
from
good.
the bottom.
Going for that three-pointer. No good. And it goes out of bounds. It's a ball.
Coming from the bottom to the top, essentially, in the last few years. And this is his first starting lineup position for the West.
Oh, yeah. Eve Carbonu has been having a stouting career. Starting off literally from the bottom, haven't been drafted. Literally had to fight for some playing time. And he's starting as we get to see a nice little floater there.
Okay, calm
Jazz
down.
Goes for his first personal. I mean,
Exchanging
a little too hype there.
Yeah, Fiora, you need to chill a little bit there.
I mean, this is with the fact that this is like her first All-Star game as a Minuteman, or should I say Minute Woman in this case?
Yeah,
a little bit of excitement.
The three represented people from this game, of course, being the William III men having 3 furs in this game. Fiora's first shot, but she's got to be in the slam dunk contest too, so she's got to watch her language.
Oh yeah.
To be a little bit
get to see Turner passing it all over to Barrett. Barrett going up with that little two-step Euro layup, but no good. As
Tolliver getting, yeah. If it was any player that was going to stop Barrett from getting that shot, it was going to be Tolliver.
Tolliver having an amazing career, as Dufran getting his little layup there. I mean, with Tennessee doing quite a turnaround. Tennessee's a weird team with the fact that they were the best team a couple of years ago, worst team last year, and now one of the best this year. It's pretty weird.
Well, I felt they had all the components there last year to be a good team, but they just could not get the organization. I think they had higher expectations than what they could. And, of course, they sent a lot of players over to other teams. Of course, they lost Aragon Fisher, and that was a big loss. That was the guy who kind of helped lead the Moonshiners to victory. And you're not going to be as good as that unless you find another player to fill in the blank. And they didn't last year. I think they're a little bit better positioned this year, obviously. We'll just see how they do.
As Terrence Tolliver goes in for the easy lay-in, as the Eastern All-Stars are on an 8-0 run in these past couple of minutes. As we get to see Wildfire bringing it up. Wildfire passing double to Carboneau, and Carboneau with a nice little finger roll.
That was planned very well.
I mean, we like to see a couple of dunks here and there now. I mean, we had a good spark. Let's see a couple of more.
Maybe if they bring back the big red fox on the floor, we can have some Melbourne versus Turner action again. That was very fun.
That was very entertaining, as we get to see some nice moves there, as we get to see a nice little lay-in from Zaris.
Did you get any dunks through in your career?
I think once in like my third year. I believe it was against, like, who was it against? I don't remember, as Turner lays it in. But I think it was against the Spokane Rapids when they were around, when they used to be a team. But now the Seattle Summit, as Dufran goes for a little bit of a jumper, and no good there, as Turner gets the board.
And speaking of White Bears playing for the Seattle Summit, we haven't seen a lot of Kuvianik thus far.
I'm sure we're going to see a lot of Polar Bear representative, as we had to see McDice try to go for a nice little layup. Elvin McDice bringing the deficit down to 1 as the East up 32-31.
Crowd-counting defense.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly who that's directed to. Of course, they're probably cheering on.
Turner with the board this time, but I'm pretty sure that sometimes it's good to have a little bit of defensive plays here. There are like a couple of blocks that we had earlier in the game, and McDice has the board. McDice passing over to Carboneau. Carboneau going to Turner. Turner trying to make some moves, passing over to Barrett. It's Barrett with that huge jammer.
Otter Town City right there.
Yes, excellent.
I love it.
Play there for the Otter.
Taking the opportunity to show off a little bit.
Chance again. And they're getting some defense right now, as we get to see Barrett with the block. Carboneau bringing it up. Might see some fast pace going here as McDice passes over to Wildfire.
Crowd loving it, of course.
Turner for the fadeaway jumper. No good.
To answer my own question from before, it was probably the West that they're cheering for, of course. Or the East, as Umechi, representing the Albany Alphas here.
Yep, and Fiora going for a nice quick lay-in as the East brings it back up 34-33. It's a very close game now, as we get to see a timeout from the West. We get to take a little bit of a breather.
Yeah, Fiora 3 for 7 thus far in the game, so she's getting her time in, of course, to represent the East for the first time. But if she wants to maintain kind of like the ability to be really a deciding factor in this game, she's just got to watch out a couple things. Of course, she had the foul earlier, and then but I'm very happy to see her again. We'll see her in the slam dunk contest along with Scooney Barrett, who drowned that last one there. No one was around him when he got that in, so he was showing off a little bit too.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing quite a few dunk contestants for the dunk contest in this game, actually. You know, they get to see both all-star coaches coaching up a little bit. Trying to get a little of a plan going, because we already know it's all fun and games, but it's nice to do a little bit of strategizing here.
What I want to see is what Lance Wildfire, he also got nominated for not just the three-point contest, but also the slam dunk contest.
Oh, yeah, he's having a fantastic year in Arizona. I mean, Arizona, of course, with a little bit of a
Santa
slow
Fe,
start.
Don't forget it is Arizona. I'm sorry.
I mean, I didn't know the whips moved in with the thrust. But yeah. Oh, we get to see a loose ball there as Omechi picks it up. Omechi going on for the races. Has over to Zaris. He gets blocked. And McDice gets it with the turnover.
I wonder how awkward it is.
Yeah.
I wonder how awkward it is for Wildfire to be facing his former teammate Omechi in this.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to Wildfire, he's having a fantastic year. As we get to see another turnover, as we get to see Valencia going up for a jumper, but no good. McDice with the board. And right now, Valencia 2 for 5. Right now, 4 points. But with Wildfire having a fantastic year with his debut in Arizona, Whip's debut, and Daniel Kubianic!
There we go.
Another huge jam from the big polar bear representing.
Repping your species right there.
Hey, I mean, you got to.
Man,
It's the only polar there in this game, as Melbourne with the rock deep into the woods. Melbourne with the lane, and she gets the little lay in. I mean, come on now.
Yeah, now
you got to respond with a dunk. The Big Bear's going up to you
too.
But the East gets the lead back.
I'm just trying to imagine what Wildfire plans to do. Here's a 5'7" little rabbit guard out of Albany.
It's Omechi passing to McQuilkin. McQuilkin, the big lion, has a lane going in for the layup, and it's good.
There she blows.
Yes, McQuilkin using that big body to get into that paint with ease. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see Lance with his dunk and see what he comes with. I mean, even though he's 5'7", he does have those legs, as all bunnies do. As Malka tries to go for a dunk, but he got blocked. Whoa, and we get to see another nice drive-by. Getting a little rough here.
That was McQuilkin just basically running into. I missed who it was on the west side, but he just kind of ran through him and got the layup in.
Yes, we get to see the East is up by 5, 40-35. You get to see a nice bounce pass to Danny. Danny going over for a reverse layup.
Yeah, they need those points.
Yeah, Danny's racking up the points here. We're going to see a nice pass to Omechi. Omechi, been a little quiet as a play. Getting double team there. Tolliver getting an opening, and he lays it in, but no good.
Longhorn jumped a little bit too high on that one and just rolled around the rim and came back.
Yep, as Eve taking his time. Passes over to Kevin. Kevin going over to Wildfire.
Now Baylor,
Wildfire
of course.
going for. I believe that was a long two. Yes, it was. Calls are on the line. But it cuts the deficit down to 1. And we're going to see another timeout, this time for the East side.
Now, there's another thing we have to talk about, Marcus. And that is the fact that they've allowed Barnaby Jazz to return to the slam dunk contest this year.
Oh yeah, it's been a little bit of surprise. I mean, of course, with the last couple of years that he didn't make it in after that controversial dunk. That's like the best way I can really say for that. But I'm pretty sure now that he's been in the league for these past few years, I believe it's his 4th year in the league now. I think that he's he's learned not to go that out there. I mean, of course, I know he's expressing of who he is and what he has become, but sometimes you can do that a little bit too much. But we'll see what happens when it comes to the dunk contest. But I'm sure he has learned.
Yeah, giving a little prep talk to looks like Jazz and Kuvianic, a couple of the other guys on the West here. But, he's jumped around from team to team now. He was on the Bikers when that incident occurred. And he's been through the wild cards, who, again, struggled to try and get anything going. Then he was sent over to the San Jose Thrust, where he's been doing quite nicely. I mean, the Thrust have had also some ups and downs the past few years. They have finally... They went all out on kind of free agency.
Oh, yeah. We get to see DeBella with a nice jumper. And, yeah, San Jose is having a fantastic year. And, really, you got to be thinking Reiko Akami. We get to see some nice moves from Herbonen, but no good on the lay-in as Kadana gets the board, passing over to Uechi. Uechi taking his time, trying to get into the paint. But he gets a little double team with a lot of traffic there as Kadane passes it over to Tierra. Tierra, a little bit undersized as she passes it over to Kadane, back over to Umechi. Umechi's got to do something with the ball. Umechi going for that long fadeaway. No good.
It was like a wall of fur flying down the field when Umechi, followed by La Tierra and Kadane, were right in tow.
Yeah. But yeah, going back to the Thrust with an amazing turnaround. You got to think the GM, Reiko Okami, making a smart moves there as we get to see Jazz trying to lay it in, but no good. But you got to give credit where credit is due. Some amazing GM work as San Jose is having a fantastic year. As we get to see a jumper there, no good. As Tavella, no! An amazing block, excuse me.
Yeah, deflected right into Herbonen's paws, and now, of course, he's getting double-teamed.
And, of course, you can't do anything about that. He was being double-teamed, so he was trying to get a pass going, but a little wild.
Yeah, right out of bounds went that one. Buckner and Goldshine trading spots on the line.
Buckner and Omeji as Tierra brings it up.
So, San Jose Thrust, just kind of complete the conversation. Definitely having a comeback year. And it shows that sometimes it pays, to go out and get some of those big name players to your team and a little bit of faith in their ability to perform and get along as a group, overcome adversity from other teams that they were coming from and try to get the best results from that.
As we get to see Danny trying to play it up, but it's no good, but he gets fouled by Kadane.
It's really hard to block Kuvianic. Somehow they managed to do it. That was number 12.
Yeah, we get to see Kadane. I mean, of course, Kadane and Danny, they've had some very... Okay. Danny pretty much incredibly botched that free throw. God,
Airball.
That was the worst free throw I've ever seen.
I don't think.
Come on, man, you gotta represent the big polars, man. And he goes up for the second one, and he makes it in. Big splash instead of going airball.
That's a highlight reel moment right there. I might have to write a little bit something up.
Oh goodness, that's a not top 10 play if I ever seen when it's Buckner goes for 3, and he makes a good easy splash as the East are up by 7.
Yeah, now the East are starting to pull away a little bit here. I think they tired out the West a little bit, and now the West has got some of their bench players in, try to fill in the gaps, but they have not been on the court for quite a while, so it's kind of a little bit of a refresh.
Goldshine making the rainbow, cutting this deficit down to 4.
I think that's the first points for Goldshine in this.
As we get to see Kadane with the rock. Kadane passing over to Buckner. Buckner going in for the drive, trying to make spin moves, but it's fouled by Goldstein.
All right, back off a little bit there. Yeah.
I mean, I know this is all fun and game, but don't get too happy now. I get to see Buckner going for his 2 shots.
Interesting to see Kadane shaking paws with Buckner there.
Yeah, I mean, we all know that it's
Plymouth Taproot. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we all know that it's all fun and games here. I don't think they're going to take it that serious because they're both being teammates as Kadane swapped over to the Roots, while Buckner swaps over to the Roots. Excuse me.
Yeah, they're
I
bringing
say Roots
in.
twice.
Yep. Tate
Buckner,
filling in. Yeah.
Buckner going in for the Roots, and Kadane going in for. Oh gosh, I am having
The
a big
Texas
brain
Lone
fart right now.
Stars.
Yes, he's going back to the Lone Stars, everybody.
How about that though?
Chamber.
How about to make a statement on the court that he just got on there and Zach Tate getting a slam dunk right in the kennel.
He was like right under the rim. All he had to do was just put his hands and just slam it down, literally. And we get to see Davella trying to lay it in, but no good. As Vera Latiera trying to make a little spin move there. Trying to get into the paint. Has some kind of room going for the fadeaway. And it is in. With 0.7 seconds left in the half.
Don ain't happy about that one.
Yeah, we're going to close it out as the East are up by 5, 50 to 45 at the end of 1.
At the end of 2. You know what? I understand. They're interviewing McDias here. But yeah, what an exciting first half to this All-Star weekend.
I mean, we're going to see some pretty amazing dunks here and there, and of course a couple of nice pretty threes as we get to go on to the halftime. I mean, some amazing play from both of the stars, as of course we get to see some of the stats here. I mean, you gotta have to admit, like, some of the amazing play from all of these players. Of course, we get to see some of the stats here going on as we get to see, some nice looks as Lance Wildfire having a pretty decent start in the first half, 7 points, 5 assists.
Yeah. So you can see how the West All-Stars are kind of playing this out. They're just exchanging the ball a little bit around for everyone to get a chance to get some points on the board. But 5 assists, of course, shows that Wildfire is not just here for his own good, but here to kind of spread out the love and give some other guys a shot.
And of course, Goldshine, what else do you expect for her not to make 2 splashes? She's perfect from in the woods.
She's had only 9 minutes on the floor thus far, but she makes every opportunity that she had. She got a 3-pointer in there, and of course 2 3-pointers. So she's definitely living up to her fame as being one of the top 5 the last couple years in the draft.
Yeah, and then of course you can't forget about Jake Turner and how much he put up a show early on with those couple of dunks that he had. Really amazing as he gets 6 points and 4 rebounds, and of course a little bit of an assist, which is a little rare, but hey, gotta spread the ball around a little bit.
6 points for Scooney Barrett on 11 minutes time on the floor with 5 rebounds and a couple of blocks. Not so good from the free throw line, but of course, from just 5 shots, he's only been able to get 2 down. But perfect from the free throw line, I should say.
Of course, and we get to see DQ having a good start, 5 points, a couple of rebounds, a little bit of a rarity, but of course it's the All-Star game, and a couple of blocks of his own, and we can't forget about that horrible
yeah,
shot.
they're unfortunately going to be showing that on the highlight reels as kind of like a look at the big white polar bear miss. It didn't even touch the rim. I've never seen that. That's
a little bit of a rarity.
Yeah, Lucas Hervinen, 3 points on 9 minutes time with 1 rebound, block, and a 1 for 4 from the court, which is not as good as, of course, he would imagine.
Barnaby Jazz, of course, he got his nice little 1 shot, which I believe was a dunk, and with a rebound, so a little bit of slow game for him, as Yves Carbonu, also with 2 points, a couple of rebounds, and an assist, and a steal. So a pretty solid all around, even though with the fact that he only has 16 minutes. But hey, what can you do?
Zach Tate with the one score in his 3 minutes on the court thus far, slamming it down. He made the opportunity, of course, again, as Hawaii manages to do this season. They've made every opportunity that they have to show off, and he got the big dunk for his 2 points on the court thus far.
And of course, McDyess also having 2 points, but most notably some assists. Even though he's like one of the main scorers for Santa Ana, he does know how to dish the rock when he needs to.
Yep.
And of course, Kevin Malka, his first timer, not off to an amazing start, but he's still getting it there as we get to go down to the East as Aisha Melbourne having a little bit of a show as, she's tied for the highest scoring, 6 points, 2 rebounds, a steal, and a couple of blocks herself.
Melbourne, and with the 6 points and 2 blocks, I imagine she'll have a great game and a great second half. I'm going to be looking toward her to hopefully get a little bit more time on the court, but representing Lorraine Firestorm with 6 points in 10 minutes is not too bad.
And of course, we get to see Royal Kadane also racking up some points with only 6 minutes, 6 points and 5 rebounds and a block. So a very amazing play from a reserve player in this All-Star game. Yeah,
we've got Renee Fiora on her first outing for the East with 6 points and an assist and steal. 3 for 7 though from the court, so she's got a little bit of work to do. 0 for 1 on 3 points and 0 for 1 on the free throw line. So if she can manage to kind of get a little bit more focused and really drown some more points in for her team, the East may be able to pull ahead a little bit more than they are right now.
Of course, we have to give in Crystal Davis, who actually gave us a little bit of a showing of her father a little bit here, with the fact that she has 5 points and an assist and a steal and a little bit of a block, doing a little everything.
Yeah, doing a little bit of everything. I'm not surprised at all. She's not going to get a whole lot of time here. I think she's kind of on the back bench. But again, these players making the best making the best opportunity of what they have to really show us what they got.
Of course, Zaris also with 4 points and a rebound and a couple of assists. 2 field goals, 2 for 5 though. Seeing some nice shoes as we get to see McQuilkin as well with 11 minutes. He has 4 points, driving really good with that big body of his, and a couple of steals, which is a little surprising.
2 steals for McQuilkin, and actually I could see him getting a couple more. The big lion there, not getting in a lot of kind of attention from the press this time around for his consecutive outing here in the All-Star game, but he's going to make it a force to be reckoned with in this game.
Yeah, but we get to see Buckner outside of scoring, not doing a lot. Of course, we saw that amazing 3-pointer from him early on in the game. He's taking a little bit of time, being calm as usual, as we get to see some Hal Dufresne, 4 points, 5 rebounds.
How about Dufresne? The 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal. Really spreading it out and enjoying himself. He had a couple good layups and slam. I don't remember if it was a slam dunk or not, but it was good play from Dufresne as well. And then Adam Tavella with 1 rebound, 4 points. And
with a nice little lay-in as well, as we get to see Umechi not really having one of the best nights. We might see him crunk it up in the second half, though, giving a real show. Umechi
and Tolliver both getting maximum time, but only 2 points apiece.
Yeah, so, we're about to get ready for the second half now, as
took a little too long analyzing the stats there. It looks like they're already ready to go before we're ready.
Yeah, I think they were like looking right at us, giving us a death stare, saying, "Hey, bro, start the game."
so we'll jump back to the action here as Umechi with the ball.
Yep, Umechi passing it wide open to Zaris, going up from Melbourne, and Melbourne starts.
What did I tell you? What did I tell you?
Right now, the East is taking control.
That was easy as pie for Aisha Melbourne. Just standing there within the kennel, jumped up, slammed it down, and she gave probably the most classic look of like, yeah,
I was good to see another lay-in from Lance Wildfire, as well.
this Wildfire doing really well for the West.
Good to see this nice moves. As Zaris gets the rock, Zaris trying to get into the paint. Not really much there. As Amechi going for the huge jump dunk.
Yeah. Coffee Husky, I think he might have overheard a couple of the comments we had up here in the booth, as
that was pretty nasty. As we get to see a nice little fadeaway jumper from LV McDice.
That was good too. That was only his second score though of the game.
Yeah, man, we want to see both of these players turning up a little bit here.
It's 54-49 with just a little under 10.5 minutes left to go.
As Fiora goes for a three. It's in and out. As Wildfire gets the board.
He's still bleeding as the West brings it up here.
Yep, McDice passing back over to Wildfire, goes for a long two, and no, it's a three.
Yeah, from the woods.
With three. A little bit down from the woods. I thought his paws were on the line, but apparently it wasn't.
He jumped up really high to get that one. I got to give him credit.
Yeah, as Omechi gets the rock. Omechi calling for a little bit of a screen. Omechi getting guarded as he passes over to Melbourne. Melbourne with the nice little jump. No good, though. Turner with the board. And a nice steal from Melbourne.
It rolled over the head of one of the West players. I can't tell who it is at the moment. They're currently doing the defense. But it was it rolled over the head, and it just so happened that Melbourne wasn't behind him at the time.
Yeah, Melbourne calls a little bit of a foul, though, but, I think she's laughing it up a bit. And she goes back down. Melbourne enjoying herself a little bit, but ooh!
I mean, that was too
Didn't really
easy.
notice Turner already deep into the paint, getting for the easy dunk to respond.
Turner was just right there, got the pass, slammed it in. Really easy
You get to
points
see
for Turner.
Fiora for a three-pointer. No good. McDice with the board. Passes over to Wildfire. Wildfire giving over to McDice.
Now, before you even realize it, we have a chance here to tie it up.
Oh, yeah. 56-54 right now. The West could possibly take this. As Wildfire goes for a jumper. No good, though. Omechi with the board. So they might have to extend this to a two-position game. And Omechi passes it over to Tolliver. Tolliver. Trying to go by the screen. It didn't work out too much. Takes pass over to Omechi, who goes for a fadeaway jumper, but no good. Barrett with the board.
Again, Tolliver walking the borders. He's got to be really careful. He's going to slide out one of these times and get a turnover.
As Wildfire passes over to the Panther, as he passes it over to Barrett. Barrett might go for a long two. No, he try to go for a drive. Pass it back over to Wildfire. McDice deep in the woods for three. No good. Fiora with the board. Right now we're getting some excellent play from both teams. As Tolliver going for the fadeaway, and he makes it with ease. So
yeah, that's what he can do if he gets enough time to kind of get separation from the defense. And of course, you've seen both teams here with really strong defense to start off this half. And as a result, some crazy offensive plays. Yeah, okay, Tolliver. I get it.
Tolliver being pretty happy. But yeah, that's surprising. An all-star game with defense. Who would have thought?
Yeah, well, these guys, I think in some situations, and gals, I should say, have a really good natural instinct for being in the right place at the right time. So it doesn't even matter if it's an exhibition game. They will set up some plays. They will set some good defensive situations. And, of course, you've got two coaches here. They're taking it as seriously as they possibly could. As we watched the East kind of discuss things. They've allowed a little bit of points from the West to be scored and a little bit of a comeback. So they're probably just making sure they maintain that a comfortable enough lead to win it out here. As we know, historically, the East never getting enough attention over the West, never getting a lot of good breaks. But times are changing. Both sides conference doing amazing things, and It would be a big win for, of course, the home crowd to cheer on Umechi and the Alphas for the East to win this one would be exciting.
Yep, as Malka passes over to McDice. McDice going over to Wildfire. Wildfire passing it back to Turner. Turner trying to get into the paint, but he goes for a fadeaway, and he makes it in with ease.
Turner's practiced that before. It's nothing new.
Oh, yeah. Turner is very known for that shot, even though that he is more of a center in this case. He passes over to Fiora. Fiora for a 3-ball, and she makes it. Nice little splash right there.
Looks like she's adjusted a few things over the halftime. That was very much in focus. So props to her for getting that from the woods.
Yep. As we get to see McDice trying to get into the paint. McDice getting guarded very well. Passes over to Wildfire. Wildfire has his own with the rock. He's looking on the shot clock. He goes for a long 2. No good. It was on but DeFrank gets a foul there.
Malco with the last shot attempt there before kind of getting pushed aside. I mean, the play was already over, but he was kind of the desperation last point, so he'll be thrown to the line here.
Yeah. Hopefully we don't see a botch free throw like we've seen earlier in the game as he gets to go for 2.
Yeah, thank you, ref.
Yes, it's good to see Kevin Malka. He had a pretty quiet rookie season, but now he's actually starting to blossom a little bit as being a starting power forward for the Voyagers.
Yeah, that's his first shot of the game, the first points of the game, as it is now 61-57 East leading over the West with about 7 minutes in the third.
Yes, we get to see Malka going for his second shot, and it bounces, but it makes it in. So the West is only down by 3 now. As we get to see the East trying to set up a play. As we get to see a pass to McQuilkin. McQuilkin passing it back over to Fiora. Fiora going over to Tolliver. Tolliver for 3. And he makes it with an easy splash.
Oh, that was also from the woods, and it's just kind of like the East is taking turns making these amazing shots. Probably in preparation for, well, it's just Umechi from the East who's going to be in the 3-point contest. But maybe, with Fiora and Tolliver and even Melbourne getting some 3 points there. We saw another score there from the West.
Wildfire making that nice little lay-in.
They want their opportunity to shine, to show off what they can do, even if they don't get that opportunity later on.
You get to see a little bit of a mismatch here as you get to see McQuilkin getting guarded by Wildfire. You get to see a screen as McQuilkin go for a 3-ball. No good. Malcolm with a long rebound.
He reached up there and got
that one.
Yeah. No apologies made on that.
Yeah, no apologies, hopefully. As we get to see a pass from McDice. McDice going over to Wildfire. Wildfire passing over to Carboneau. Carboneau going over to McDice. McDice going for that fadeaway, and he makes it in.
Even with the strong defense, was able to get that kind of on his back foot paw there. And
yeah, Tolliver trying to get something going as he passes over to McQuilkin. McQuilkin going for a long 2, and he makes it in with ease. So the East is still up by 4, 66-62.
It's a little bit calmed down now since the beginning of the third quarter, but each team with, I would say, a lot more focused ability, honing in on the hoop, getting the space they need to get the points. Kuvianic here.
Danny getting the and 1 as he tried to lay it in. I prefer seeing a dunk, though, but he gets to go on the line for one more. Let's just hope what happened last time when he was on the charity stripe doesn't happen again.
I saw a little smirk there after the play. This kind of indicated, well, I guess I have to do this again.
Yep, and he pretty much hits the front of the rim, so not a good look there for free throws comes to mind as McQuilkin got an easy open layup. There was no defense at all.
Yeah, McQuilkin now probably like the forgotten guy on the back 9 who's going to come up from behind and make a difference here for the East, the Huntsville Mayors.
Adi was trying to drive, but he gets fouled by Hal DeFrank.
Oh, please. Okay. Looks like he's okay.
Yeah.
Kind of reached for his knee a little bit there. Had me worried for a split second.
Yeah, you have to worry about him for a little bit. You don't want another bad injury happening for Santa Ana, especially for a major piece in their bench as Adi gets ready to shoot for 2. I mean, considering with the fact that Adi had that unfortunate injury last year, I'm pretty sure he's ecstatic to be here right now, getting a chance to play in the All-Star game, as he gets a lucky roll there. He got the lead down to 3, 68-65.
Yeah, the Civet has not had much good luck in his young career here. Playing for the FBA, of course, playing for an American team, a little bit of an adjustment in that regard. But just, of course, after last year's problems this year, having a very good season for the Spectrums have kept them towards the top of the league. And you have to give not only credit to McDias and some of the other guys and gals who are playing for the Spectrums, but definitely Aditya and
Yep, as we get to see Davis with her walk. We might see a little bit more magic from her. She gets a nice little screen there. As she goes for a fadeaway jumper. No good. Jazz with the board. Goldshine brings it up.
Oh,
As we get
it's
to
like
see
he slid
Adi.
in between the play there.
Yeah, we get to see Harvonen with the rock. Harvonen trying to make some moves. And he tried to pass it, but luckily he gets the ball back as it was deflected. Pass it over to Danny Boy, and Danny gets fouled as it goes up.
Yeah, it was Kubianic who just kind of sliced in between Goldshine and the defender to try and get it under the hoop there. It was a little bit more than just hilarious. He's having fun tonight.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure everyone's having a good time here as we have a pretty close game for the All-Stars. As we get to see a couple of free throws going in. And, goodness gracious.
Yeah,
DQ is
that's
not
Kubianic
having
again.
a good time getting those free throws. And we get to see Adi teaching him a little bit how to, create that ball, just making a nice little splash. As we get to see DQ going for a second one. Hopefully he won't botch it again. Let's see if we get a lucky, nice little roll. And nope.
He is not meant for the free throw line.
Apparently not, as Buckner gets the rock. Buckner passing on over to Davis. Crystal. Get a nice little screen going. Crystal going back beyond the woods. And Crystal trying to make some moves here. Going for the fadeaway. No good. Harvonen with the board. So as Harvonen bringing it back up for the West, trying to tie this game back up. 68-68, 66. As Adi goes up for the fadeaway. Pass over to Jazz.
Fair.
Jazz with a huge slammer jammer. Hanging on the rim a little bit there.
Jazz
I had to be
loves that. Aditya
I feel
Angun,
like we're there. I thought the basketball had a break there.
just like I said, Angun with the short little pass there, but Jazz made that flashy and slammed it through and got the points that were needed to kind of tie this up, but there was a just easy 2-point there for the East to get back their lead.
Yep, 70-68 as Adi tries to go for the fadeaway, but a huge block from Sierra.
Sierra, yeah.
Verla Sierra as
We haven't
Kadane.
heard much from her yet. Yeah, we have not heard much from her yet this game, but she's had a couple astounding plays that have kept this game interesting. That one
Yeah,
there, block.
She tries to lay it in, but she gets fouled by Adi. It's first personal, so she gets to go on the line for 2. Trying to extend this lead to 4. Right now it's 70-68 in the third quarter.
I'm amazed that the East not so much have maintained competitiveness, but have been able to kind of withstand some of the defensive play of the West just by natural instinct. Have been, they've got the same kind of players that the West have right now. Yeah, I get it, ref. Thank you. I don't know what it is with the refs tonight. The
refs are just doing their job.
I understand, but they're interfering with my analytic flow.
Well, we get to see the first one made in for Vera La Tierra, as we get to see some changes here. Zaris, Carbonu, and Tate are coming into the game now for the West.
Yves Carbonneau getting back in as forward for the West, as they need a little bit more speed to get some points up on the board.
Yeah, but as the East go up to 4, 72-68, as Adi brings it up. And now Adi taking his sweet time and passes over to Carbonu. Carbonu. Passing over to Tate. Tate getting guarded well. He passes over to Carbonu. Carbonu got a little lane going for the jumper. No! Nope, it is blocked. A huge block, and we get to see Buckner lay it in with ease. Excellent defense there from the East.
So I forgot about the elusive Buckner.
Yep, because you get to see Adi trying to take his time. Nice screen there from the big fish, and he tries to lay it in, but he gets blocked, and it's out of bounds. East ball, because Tate tried to bring it in, but his paws are on the line. So right now, the East has a chance to extend this lead a little bit more, up to 8, as we get to see a nice pass into Bella. To Bella, going over to Tierra. Tierra going over to Gadane. Gadane back over to Tierra for 3, and she makes it in with ease.
That was a good setup. Raul Kadane kind of wandered up, grabbed the ball away from Tierra's hands, but then Tierra could readjust and get in position to make that 3-throw shot.
Yeah, right now the West is a little bit of a struggle as Eve has the rock now. Passing back over to Adi. Adi going along the lines. Passes it over to Jazz. Jazz for a fadeaway, and he makes it in. Lucky little bounce there as he cuts the deficit back down to 7. As Valencia.
Just under a minute now in the third.
Yep, as Valencia passes over to Gadane, who's deep in the woods. Gadane tried to pass it over to Buckner, but it's stolen by Eve. Nice hands there.
They needed that turnover. Yves Carbonneau throwing it to Hervonen, who's now behind the line, and they're switching it up with Adi, Hervonen, and now Carbonneau, who's got a good shot here. There we go.
Yeah, right now the West is doing a fantastic job cutting the deficit down to 5 as BZ bringing it up. BZ passes it over to Devella. Devella loses the ball. Jazz with it now. Hervonen has the rock. Going over to Eve. We might see this game get cut down to 2, maybe possibly 3. And we're going to see a nice block there.
Oh, man.
This game's getting a little bit too hyped up here as Kadane with a huge block. No surprise for him with his big paws.
He put up his paws there, and then it was a little bit of like, yeah.
Yeah, but we get to see Scoons come into the game. Possibly looking for some nice help on offense.
The play earlier, Tavella trying to do a little bit too much flashy SoCal antics there. Lost the ball and it was recovered really quickly, and the East brought it back. And they're going to probably...
Carbonu laid in with these, and now they're only down by 3 as the East brings it up. BZ going for that final shot. No good.
Well,
so right now, the East is doing pretty well as we get to the final quarter. 77-74 East.
Yep, I have to give credit for a couple of the good plays there at the end from the West to try and bring this game back. They were down by 9, if you remember, not even a minute ago. But they kind of threw East for a loop and gave some signals to say, you know what, we're not just going to sit back and watch as you guys do some silly stuff here.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you there. I mean, with the fact that this is an exhibition, they want to make it some kind of game, make it pretty entertaining. As Barrett going for that 5-footer, but no good. As Amaechi gets the rock.
Yeah, now you see all the starting lineup players back in the game, with Umechi hopefully getting the chance to keep this team lead from the East in the pause for this Albany crowd. It would do a lot of good.
As Wildfire passes it over to Barrett. Barrett going over to Turner. Turner going for the fadeaway. No good. Aisha with the board as she passes it over to VZ. VZ going over to Tolliver.
Now's the time of the game where you have to be a little bit careful, not to trip up, not to have your paws or your tails in the wrong place as they're tossing this ball around like hotcakes.
Yeah, it's VZ. Pass over to Melbourne, and Melbourne with another dunk. Melbourne having quite a night here.
Melbourne definitely showing off. I'm more than happy for her in her 12th season. It's got to be a little bit rough to try and make some of those plays, but she's having fun with it.
Yeah, but as you can see, Eve trying to go for the lip, but she loses the ball, but Bear gets back. Turner for the jumper, and he makes it in with ease.
Turner making this game, keeping this game close, 76-79.
Yep, the West is only down by 3 as we get to see VZ bring it up. VZ making a little spin move. Got a lane going for that 10-footer. No good, though. Wildfire with the board.
And now we'll see what the West point guard can do.
We're going to see Lance taking his time, getting a little bit of a screen from Turner. And get to see a nice move to Carbonu. Carbonu tried to go for a drive. Passes it back over to Turner. Turner can make it from behind the arc. Wildfire for 3. Oh,
beautiful.
He makes it with the splash. Time to get back up.
Beautiful play between Wildfire and Turner to get that arranged. The crowd is in approval because it is now tied 79-all.
Oh, yeah, they're enjoying this game now. As Omechi getting ready to lay it in, and he makes it with ease.
Omechi getting the foul as well.
Yeah, Omechi showing a little zip in his step as he gets to go on the line for one more.
Shoving Carbonneau over as he's...
Yeah, he's getting I think the Husky had a little bit too much coffee as we get to see Eve getting switched to Kevin.
What is too much coffee?
You never know.
Is that a thing? Can I have too much coffee?
I don't know. I mean, I guess it depends on the person as Omechi makes his the and 1, so the East is now back up to 3.
This is important. How much is too much coffee? Like, is 4 cups too much?
I mean, that's a question depending on the person. But we get to see a jumper going over for McDice. McDice having a pretty nice game. As Omechi bring it up. We can see another timeout for the East. So right now, an amazing show as the East is only up by 1, 82-81.
Yeah, I'm giving credit to a combination of Turner, Wildfire, and Carbonneau to bring this game back within 1. But, the East is doing just what they need to do to keep that lead. They have not given up the lead. Even when they've tied it up, just as they did a little while back, Umechi came back and got some points up for the team, for the East. So, of course, the West gathered here. You see Carbonneau and Turner kind of just sitting back and enjoying it all. They're taking it seriously. They want the West to come in and kind of show off what they have in terms of talent. A lot of returning veterans on that side of that conference.
Yeah, I have to agree with you on that one. I mean, for both of these teams, I mean, even though this is all for fun and games, sometimes it's always a little bit of a pride thing as well, as we get to see Melbourne getting ready to take it in. Melbourne passing all the way to Fiora. Fiora going over to VZ. VZ trying to get in the lane, and she make a spin move, passing it to Omechi, and Omechi laying it in and 1. A foul on a former teammate, Lance Wildfire. Omechi showed off his pecs a little bit here.
And now Umechi, it's just a little bit of a show-off from Umechi, but it's working. He's getting into the faces and the muzzles of these players, and really, the crowd is loving it.
Oh, he misses the and 1, though. But, of course, we heard a little bit of boos in the crowd, possibly some Queens fans. As you all know, the pride moving into right next door. And we see a huge dunk from LV McDice.
LV McDice cannot be forgot.
McDice making sure to say that, hey, I'm still here. I'm ready to put up a show. As Omechi, a little isolated here, probably still in awe of that crazy dunk.
He's trying to throw McDice off sides here. It's not going to happen.
And we're going to see the fadeaway and
just take the point.
I don't know what was going on there. Rivera was just looking on, just letting him make the shot, but oh well. You can see Wildfire passing over to McDice. McDice going for a jumper, and he makes it. This is now starting to become an Omechi McDice show.
Yeah, these two are playing mind games with each other at the moment. It's kind of like a game of chess. And Umechi, unfortunately, is still winning. This East has a 1-point lead, and they have the ball at the moment. They cannot turn it over at this point.
Yeah, Zaris making some moves of her own, and she makes the dunk, saying that she is here as well for the East representing. A little bit of luck here.
Yeah.
Lovely for the New Yorkers as McDice gets the rock. McDice going over to Turner. Turner going over to Malka. Malka picking up the three. Not really his shot. Passes over to McDice. McDice trying to make some moves, but he gets blocked. Nice block from Terrence Tolliver as he brings it up.
Tolliver. We've seen Tolliver kind of in spurts here. Zaro's there, though.
Whoa! BZ giving some props to her. She makes a major dunk. This is what I call an all-star game.
Valencia is not new to this scene. It's her 4th all-star game. She was out last now as the West turns it over again.
And we're going to see another huge dunk from BZ. And we're going to see a look of a slam can, because that was pretty. That was beautiful.
Beautiful from all. Zaros, from Umechi, from
Look at
Melbourne.
that. BZ strutting like a boss. He knows what's up.
Oh, man. I haven't seen her this happy in a long time.
Oh, yeah. She's really enjoying herself. And we get to see some crazy dunks from both teams. I mean, this is what we expected. Just some crazy, crazy stuff happening here in the All-Star.
Marcus, what do you think at this point? Is it East or West? Can the West recover from this?
Right now, I don't know. I'm just here enjoying this game and how crazy both teams have been able to just kill it.
Have you seen the size of Dufresne's Infuriate bottle? Did you see how big that thing is?
Is that even a bottle? I'm pretty sure that's a jug. That's a full jug of Infuriate. let's be honest here.
Man,
of course, for knowing Gators, they have to stay hydrated.
I gotta get something like that for my like a coffee mug that size.
I mean, you and your coffee. I mean, that's something you and Omechi have a lot in common. But
yeah, we've definitely had more than one conversation on the topic. I will not lie.
Now we're gonna see McDice
after this.
gonna go for a lay, and he gets fouled there by BZ as he gets to go on the line for 2.
Dias in approval of that. West needs these opportunities.
Yeah, they kind of needed to stay up in this game. McDice getting little dabs from some teammates as he gets ready to go for his first shots.
And Turner strutting his stuff still. The West definitely has some big name players. But I brought this up earlier, but I'm going to say it again. The East is evened out, and I feel as a unit in this game are really showing kind of that they can have just as much fun in this game as the West has had historically, having a good record, and not just the rookie challenge, but also the All-Star game.
Yes, it's good to see McDice making his second one, bringing this deficit down to 6, as VZ bringing it up. VZ asking for a screen. She gets it. Still defended well, as she passes over to Dufresne. Dufresne going over to Fiora. Fiora getting a nice screen from Dufresne, but it didn't work out that well. Fiora passing over to Dufresne. Dufresne had to do something with it. Passing over to VZ. VZ for a long 2. No good. Malcolm with the board.
VC had a good couple plays there she kind of abandoned a layup halfway through to get it some better positioning, but unfortunately with that shot gives West an opportunity here to get within 4.
Turner making a nice little jumper as Jake brings the deficit down to 4 as BZ brings it up.
And now Zaros under 6 minutes left.
I mean, Dufresne getting the right, passing back over to VZ. There was nothing going for him. Turner right there. It's VZ. Got a little bit of a lane going for the nice little floater, but no good. Turner with the board.
Credit to Wildfire, keeping Zaros on her toes.
Yep, Wildfire. Trying to get some moves of his own now. He passes over to Kevin.
Kevin Malka.
Kevin, second-year veteran.
Slowing things down a little bit here.
He passes over to McDice. McDice has to do something with the ball. He goes for a long 3. No good. Umechi with the board. Umechi going over the toe. Umechi trying to lay it in, but no good. McDice with his first personal.
And this is turned into a game of Umechi pulling fouls on the West with these quick layup scores.
Yeah, and there's quite a few Queens fans. We hear a nice little booze in the crowd.
Well, Queens and Albany playing for the same conference, so it might just be a little bit of a cross rivalry crowd stuff going on here, but they've got to love the fact that they're winning here as Umechi makes that first shot.
Yeah, I mean, not just the conference, but also in the division. I mean, they've been longtime rivals, as we get to see Umechi get ready for his second free throw. But it's not surprising to see a couple of mixed crowd reactions as we get to see the crowd filled as Umechi makes his second one. So right now we get to see the West down by 6. Wildfire bringing it up. Wildfire.
How's this for a little bit of trivia? Both are point guards for this game, starting point guards. Wildfire and Zaros are on teams that have changed their city location this year.
Yeah. That's a pretty good thing to bring up is the fact that two teams, one from each conference, did decide to switch it up as Umechi goes for the fadeaway jumper and no good, hitting the back of the rim. Carbonu with the board. But yeah, just over in the free agency. Ooh,
bless you.
Thank you.
That was a sneeze to behold.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to do that. A little sniffles up in here. But you get to see a little foul there as you get to see how the frame switched in with Melbourne as we get to see in the closing minutes.
Well, Barnaby Jazz got a little bit too much shoulder on that last play. And again, they're still trying to get points in here. Jake Turner getting the 2 here to make it within 2, but he's doing all the work thus far.
Yeah, right now this late in the game, Jake Turner doing what Jake Turner does best, racking up the points. As we get to see VZ taking her time, passing over to Melbourne. Aisha trying to find a way to go dig, going over to Macy. Nice switch there. And Macy loses the ball, but he gets it back. Melbourne with a huge jam.
Macy couldn't do it, but Melbourne could.
Yeah, some nice teamwork there from the two. As you can see, Turner goes jam, but no good. Omechi with the board. But they have a chance to put this back up to 6 as Zoros passes over to Tolliver. Tolliver going over to VZ. VZ backing it up a bit. VZ
over that head. Sorry about it.
Yeah. Fade away. Oh, nice one from Omechi. As
over the head passes East. That was like 4 consecutive switch ups, keeping West on their toes, really making it hard for them to find a way to come back here.
And McDice is
near the 3-minute mark.
McDice, whoa! They're trying to go for an alley-oop pass to Turner, but he cornered it. As Fiora passes over to Tolliver. Tolliver passes over to VZ. VZ.
It's like a synchronized jump.
Yep. Nice passing there as the East breaks the 3-digit.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going for the century mark as they're now up by 8. McDice with the rock. McDice going over for the nice little finger roll right there.
It's not over yet.
Showing that it is not over. There's still a lot of game left. 2:30 left in the fourth. As Melbourne tried to lay it in, but no good. Melbourne getting the board as McDyess brings it up. McDyess going over to Wildfire.
Wildfire taking his time.
Yeah, as he passes over to Turner. Turner back over to Wildfire. Wildfire going for the 3-ball. No good. Umechi with the rock. And he loses the ball. Turner with the rock. Passing it back to Jazz. Jazz going over to Wildfire. Passing it back over to McDyess. They got a chance to bring this to a one-possession game. And, no good. I think that Turner was trying to go for a dunk, but it was blocked.
That might be the dagger that, with the turnover there, they really need to get points on that shot in the East.
Yeah. Omechi doing what Omechi does best. Now he's really hyped up.
Yeah, this is
a little bit of
his game
in there.
If anything, Roger Omechi now in his, like I said, 5th consecutive All-Star game. He knows how to handle this crowd, being an Albany Alpha, but he also knows how to play this game and have fun at the same time. So he's got to be happy. They're doing really well. The East is got an 8-point lead over the West.
Yeah, you got to give credit where credit is due here. I mean, Roger Omechi doing what Roger Omechi does best, being that one clutch, taking over the game. But at the same time, you're going to have to give like a little bit of a battle between Omechi and McDyess and Turner as well a little bit.
Yeah, Omechi, and with Scooney Barrett I have not seen him in a while. They've been playing McDyess and Wildfire and Turner as the key players here. They're probably just trying to get any kind of points here, get a 3-pointer. You could still...
they still have a chance here as McDyess going over to Jazz. Jazz trying to lay it in, but no good. Melbourne with another board. As right now we get to see VC taking her sweet time down the court.
Yeah, using up the time clock here. Crowd loving the fact that they've got this 8-point lead.
Yep, and McDyess gets the board as he passes over to Garbernew. Garbernew passing to McDyess. McDyess going over to Turner. Turner with the fadeaway. No good.
A little bit too far back of his range. And from the back foot paw, Turner just couldn't get that one in.
Yes, you can see VZ giving it to Omechi. Omechi going down the line, and he makes another tomahawk chop. Well, not tomahawk, but a nice dunk there as he's still showing off.
I'm not gonna say anything for fear of getting trampled later by a big giant red fox, but I think this might be in the bag for the East.
Yeah, I mean I believe that double clutch was the deal breaker, as the East is now up by 10 with less than a minute left in the game clock. So this might be the end of it. So far as
10-point lead, it's 104-94. Just for anyone who's tuning in,
bringing it in to Wildfire. Wildfire going for a 3 automatically, no good, and Fiora gets the board. And I believe that should be the dagger, as Fiora bringing it up. Fiora passes it over to Tolliver. Tolliver going over to Melbourne. Melbourne to Fiora. Fiora going to Tolliver.
Well, now they're just kind of throwing it around the board, trying to get as much
not
time.
possible as Melbourne try to lay it in, but no good. Carbonew with the board. Carbonew passes it over to Wildfire.
Yeah.
And McDyess laying it in, and that should probably be the last score for the West. And they go for a little full court pass as VZ is bringing it up, and I think that they're just going to walk it out from here.
Yeah, well, you can see the West.
Yeah, right now
pushing and shoving. But this game is pretty much over.
We get to see the clock winding down, and that'll do it.
Well, you know what?
And of course, the crowd is probably be like, "No, let's get one more quarter in there. Let's try to bump up the West score and take it to overtime." Why not? But of course, that's not how games usually go. But the
Props
East,
to Roger Meche, who is by far a great player at the end here, and of course he gets the player of the game nod.
of course, it's not even a surprise at this point. Roger Meche doing a fantastic job in this game, and it's no surprise one of the best players in the FBA, perhaps maybe of all time. He's definitely in the discussion as we get to go into the post game. It's certainly been a fantastic game for him as we get to see some of the stats here. Wildfire.
Yeah, if I could reach out to the West here for a little bit, I do have to give props to Wildfire and Jake Turner, of course, as well as McDice, who all sharing a lot of game clock made this game really exciting at a couple points. And you can see there Wildfire getting 10 assists along with 17 points, really representing now his Western team as he's kind of been annexed out of Albany, unfortunately. But he is the leader here on the board for the stats on the West side.
As we get over to McDice, I mean, he also had a pretty good showing. 17 points, 8 for 13. And even though he missed a couple of three-pointers in the game, a lot of that was made up for the amazing show that he's had in this game.
Yeah, if you recall, the first half, McDice did not have much success. I think he only had like 2 or 4 points, but really came back, made it a valiant effort to get some better shots from outside the kennel, and as you see, they are tied with Wildfire for 17.
Yes, and of course we get over to Jake Turner, who also is not a surprise. 60 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 assists, and a steal, which is a little surprising, but given the fact that the Fox has had an amazing career, even though it's a little short one, it's still pretty great. He's showing why he's here.
Yeah, Jake Turner, it's only his second year, and people forget, too, that he's only, I think, 19 or 20 years old. So definitely in the youth of his career, to be getting 16 points in the All-Star game in his second year is impressive. 8 rebounds, 3 assists, and a steal, as well as, he could have done a little bit better from outside the kennel as well, but impressive play from some guy, some Red Fox from Britain, living up to his namesake and making it a really fun experience to watch him play tonight for the West.
Yeah, and of course we have to bring in, of course, the bench. We missed a couple of stats. DQ and Barnaby Jazz having a good game, 8.7 points respectively, and of course a couple of blocks from both of them. Zach Tate also having a pretty solid, well, not a solid game, but a pretty nice little showboating for his 6 minutes he was in.
Yeah, Carbonneau, Goldshine getting 6 points each. Scooney Barrett only coming up with 6. That was mostly active in the first half, and of course some of the other guys spreading the ball out. Everyone got a shot at getting some points, so that's a good thing.
And over in the East, what did you expect from Roger Meche? 22 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, and a block.
It was really kind of a show off there, and
oh yes, especially in the closing minutes. And of course, Aisha Melbourne having a fantastic All-Star game. I mean, if Omechi wasn't there, I'm pretty sure she would have been POTG. If she had done well. 14 points, 7 rebounds, and a couple of blocks and some good steals as well.
Yeah, it's the veterans who really made this game possible from the Eastern side, between Melbourne, Zarouse, and Umechi. All getting a lot of good times. Those 3 combined scoring for 46 points. So making this really fun to watch. 8 assists from Zarouse alone. She's definitely a representative of what makes the East really good and interesting to watch this year.
Yep, and of course we got to give props to Renee Fiora and Dan McQuilkin, and also to Oliver for having some good outings. As Fiora got 9 points, 3 rebounds, and 4 assists as well.
What people don't remember, D'Angelo McQuilkin, with his 8 points in only 14 minutes, mind you. He had a few attempts, 3 shots at getting some 3-pointers in that unfortunately didn't go down. But if they had, we would have seen even bigger deficit or a difference between the West and East. So we can't forget that there was some really awesome production from the Eastern side of things. And D'Angelo McQuilkin was definitely part of that in the time that he got on the court.
And of course, we got to give Tolliver a huge star for the Keystones. Of course, showing a little bit of strut as 7 points, 3 rebounds.
Yeah, he had 2 blocks as well. That made it. That made a huge difference in this one.
And we're going over to the bench as we see, Vera Lattiera with the 14 minutes she's played, 7 points and 3 boards and a block as well, which is a little surprising from her.
Yeah, she can definitely go home happy. Raul Kadane as well. He made it an excellent show to watch.
Oh yes, especially with the 6 points and the 5 boards that he's able to obtain with the 10 minutes that he had played. Adam Tavella, pretty nice, decent game for him. 6 points, 4 rebounds, and a couple of blocks as well. So pretty defensive game a little bit for the East when it comes stats wise.
Travis Buckner from the Plymouth Taproots getting 6 points and a rebound and a block as well in this one.
Crystal Davis having a nice little showing off in the beginning of the second quarter, showing off the Davis family blood in her, as she had 5 points and assists.
And we wrap up with Hal Dufresne, 4 points, but 5 assists, or 5 rebounds.
So yeah, overall an excellent game, an excellent All-Star game from both conferences, and with the fact that these players have been now that all that's said and done, we are now getting ready to set up for the big crunch time games. We get to see the final finishes, see who's going to be second as we get ready for the playoffs.
Yep, I'm so happy to see the East do well in this one, and I'm so glad to have been invited here to kind of give it a little bit of spice here. With you here in the booth, it's been a pleasure, and it's been, absolutely amazing to see some of the best players from both sides of the conference get together and just have a really awesome night here in Albany.
Oh yeah, it's been a fantastic night, and I would like to thank you for accepting the invite, coming in, and being as awesome as you are, Willie, doing everything that you do.
Oh,
what?
That was. I almost forgot. Where's the nearest Starbucks?
I think it's a couple of streets. Just take a right and then go straight forward. Yeah,
I may be under the influence of some caffeine in a few minutes. So if you'll excuse me.
Yeah. Well. Okay. Yeah, that happened. Well, guys, thank you all for watching here. For this amazing special edition of Sports Den. The next one up, we'll be going to have a fantastic match for Pittsburgh Keystones visiting the Texas Lone Stars as we get the ball really rolling. And until then, we'll see you guys later.
Thanks for everyone.
We're done.
Yay!